So what's up, everybody? This is your boy Jonathan, back at it again on my way to work. So what I wanted to talk to you today about is how to be a cool guy and do some cool stuff, right? So I ended up, and this is sad, and I shouldn't have watched this, but an RSD video popped up in my video feed, right? And so they were talking about how to be cool. So I figured, because I usually laugh at those videos and make reviews, so I guess I can make a review about the video now. Basically, Julian Blanc and Max, whatever he was saying, the most hated man in the world, and some crusty looking PUA guy, right, Max, they were talking about how to be cool, you should, like whatever you want and be the person you want to be, but be socially calibrated, just know how to put it into, make it socially acceptable. And what I found out is there's some things that you just can't make look socially acceptable. I'm sorry. Some things it's like you have to set up time to do those things yourself, and then when you're out, you gotta just not talk about those things. Okay? And like I said, a lot of people like anime. I like some anime, but a lot of the anime comes off creepy and perverted, and you don't want to necessarily try to learn how to be an anime person and make that socially acceptable, because a lot of times it's not going to be socially acceptable. Okay, it's just not. Or like World of Warcraft, like same thing, like those crazy, complex video games, Or like I go to the game store, those people who play the crazy, figurine board games, they play Pokemon, right? There's no context where you can make that socially acceptable when you're out hanging out with people and having fun. So just, let that, you should set up some time where you can do your nerd culture thing, but when you're out in public, don't talk about that kind of stuff. Keep that stuff to yourself, no matter what they say, okay? And what was confusing about the video was they were talking about things like Metallica. If you like Metallica, then you need to know how to socially calibrate that. Or if you like certain rap songs or R&B songs, you need to socially calibrate that. And of course, I get where they're saying, because everybody likes rap music to some degree. People used to like rock music to some degree, and rock music is still cool. People like R&B to some degree. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff is still popular. And yeah, there's some Metallica songs where they scream too much, and you do need to social calibrate that, because that, when you're at a kickback, you may not want to play a loud Metallica song, and that's fine. But they never talked about anime culture. They never talked about, World of Warcraft or League of Legends or whatever the, popular fantasy game is today, Final Fantasy, this, that, and the other. They didn't talk about that. They didn't say, oh, and by the way, learn how to calibrate your love for Final Fantasy in front of people. They didn't talk about calibrating that. So, my opinion on that is just kind of like, don't talk about that type of nerd culture in front of people. Okay? Now, how do you do cool people stuff, right? So, let's talk about that, right? I think you guys should do more cool people stuff, or cool guy stuff. Well, it'll get you in the mood of being a cool guy, and it'll be good for people around you. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll always have something cool to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the things that you should learn. So what I want to do is I want you to imagine you're in the 1980s or the 1990s, right? A guy from the 1980s and 1990s. You don't have your cell phone. You don't have a smartphone. You don't have your video game console at the house. You don't have Netflix. You know, you don't have Pokemon cards. You don't have none of that, right? You're simply some guy from the 80s or 90s, right? And you're just chilling, right? And imagine that, you know, back in those days, Star Trek had this stigma with nerds. And nerd culture had this real stigma where people were like gonna stop talking to you. Or, you know, the cool people were over there and the nerds were over there, you know? And you have to get into that stigma. You have to think about, like, oh my God, you know, somebody's gonna outcast me or ostracize me if I'm in the nerd culture. You know what I'm saying? Now, that doesn't mean take it away. It just means don't talk about it in public. So that's what you have to think about, right? And then what I want you to think about is, okay, if I was a dude in the 80s or the 90s, like, what did cool guys do back then, right? What were some of the activities that they did, right? So, like, you know, you know, back in the 80s, you know, breakdancing was really big. And it recently exploded, like, in the mid-2000s because of, you know, dance movies like Step Up and Save the Last Dance and stuff. Like, those dance exploded. I mean, it just took off. So now, you know, there's a lot of people out there, like, especially in Union Square, New York, dancing. There's a lot of studios out there, you know, and that's a cool guy activity because you can go up to a girl and be like, oh, I'm a break dancer, haha, you know, like, something like that. Like, you know, I remember watching a bunch of movies in the 80s where the guys would go chill on the beach and they'd have their sunglasses on, their swim trunks on, or their cool shorts on. Just be walking down the street. Maybe they would have a tank top or a t-shirt. And they'd just be chilling. And they would just be walking down the street, on the beach, on the boardwalk, you know, sipping a little lemonade or something. Be like, hey, baby, what's up? Like, just looking at the waves. Maybe grab a surfboard, jump in the water, you know, surf for a little while. You know, sun's out, guns out, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, think of it like that. Like, and that'd be something cool to talk about, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love getting massages, and legit massages. We don't mess with toots on this channel, okay? No toots, but no, legit massages. So, like, I went to a legit massage. It's like a Korean spa, right? And so they got 2 steam rooms, a jacuzzi, freaking showers, table showers. You know, I got a cool sports massage. They have a bar where you can get, like, teas and fruits. Like, they were hooking it up in there. I was like, God damn, like, it was that serious. Like, so that's another hot guy thing. Like, go to a cool spa. Now, spas are a little expensive, so I treated myself because, like, a normal massage, they're anywhere from $20 to like $40. That massage was like $135, and I just needed one of those days, so I was like, I'll just get it. But, you know, for real. So, yeah, activities like that. I recently started going to Bowery Electric on Tuesday nights where they have, like, you know, indie bands playing. Not indie bands, but it's like an open mic night where people can come and play music and play instruments. And they have cool bands and stuff. You know, a lot of ladies there, a lot of dudes. Not really, well, it's a cool mix of people. And they have, like, there's this old guy that comes who's like Mick Jagger-esque with his tight white pants on and his metallic silver jacket, and he's got like some kind of tank top with like holes and skulls or something. It's ridiculous. He has like the cool frosted hair from like the 90s, and like the metallic glasses. Like homeboy is pimping. But yeah, like do some cool guy stuff like that. Like, you know. So that's the video today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, I'll get back to you. All right, I'm out, everybody. Peace.